Hello and welcome back to the channel. Another day working in the van. Well, another week working in the van. So, floor was down in the last episode. This episode, fingers crossed, we're gonna get the windows in. My parents in the van are wanting a window on this side and then a window where the door is as well. And potentially one back either here or here. Don't know where it's going to go yet because it's going to be facing out from the kitchen. There is going to be an L-shaped seat here, so it's going to be lots of light in that area. And then there's also going to be the kitchen cabinets along here. So that window is going to be perfect for chopping your vegetables, cooking your food and looking at the view. What I need to do first is take out of the brace because obviously the window is going to be in that kind of square that you can see. And that brace is slap bang in the middle. So what I have noticed is my multi-tool that I'm gonna use for this job, the metal attachment is definitely perished. I could buy a new one, but the problem is it's gonna be about a half an hour round trip, so I'm just gonna try it with this first and hopefully it'll work. If you wanna have good hearing and good eyes, wear protection. I definitely should have thought of that. Okay, so even with the dodgy bit, it's actually just gone straight through it like butter. So I'm probably gonna try it on the opposite side. Hopefully it works. If not, I'm gonna carry on with this side for today and then tomorrow I'll do the next side. But fingers crossed, it'll all be done today. We'll see. Okay, so this alone, I think is the scariest bit still of any van build. Going through the metal work and just knowing that the second that I puncture to outside, it is never gonna be the same again. I cannot repair it. And even if I do repair it, it's just not as good. So basically, make sure you do it right. I need to follow this outline just to make sure that the window isn't gonna go outside of that. So that's why I'm doing it from the inside instead of from the outside, otherwise you might get it in the wrong place. There we go, it's officially done. The light is coming through, it has been done. So I've got a few more to do. I'm probably gonna do it every, I don't know, 20 centimeters maybe, and a little bit closer on the corners. But yeah, I'll show you once it's done. That seems to have gone well. So as you can see, I've got those holes going all the way around. And like I said, there's kind of more in the corners just so I can see the shape a bit easier. But obviously on the straight line, don't really need these. These are just in case, kind of as markers to make sure that I stay on track. That is the outline for the window complete. So it's all taped up and ready so I don't scratch the van with, as I said, I've got all those little pilot holes and I have got the big hole here that the saw will start from. I tried doing it a second ago, but it's really, really loud. So I thought because it's about, it's 6:30 at the moment and there's people that live nearby, I'm gonna wait till tomorrow and I'll do it tomorrow because there's no rush really to get this done. Cut them out and then it means that I can kind of prep the surface before then going ahead and applying the windows. It's a little bit nervous applying the windows just because of the fact that I haven't done it before, and also if you do it wrong and it falls, it smashes. So it's really quite scary having to put it in. But what can I do apart from do it? I'm just gonna have to make sure I do it properly. Okay, so back at the van today, and the plan is that I'm just gonna crack on and cut these windows out. So wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. That's the whole window cut. It took about half an hour. It does take some time. However, it went really well. I'm actually quite happy with how it looks. It's quite neat. It doesn't have to be perfect. But what I need to do now is just file down the inside of the window, or inside of the cut, sorry. So it means that it's not as sharp and it's just gonna get rid of any of those flakes that are potentially left from where it's cutting. That's all filed down now, so you can see it just has that slight shiny edge to it. So what I'm going to do now is just replicate this on the other side. So I need to cut that window out before I then do the exact same where I file it. And then I can paint both of them to make sure that they don't rust in future. I am pretty happy with how that went. That's the second window done and it's nice and relatively neat enough. So yeah, time to give the rough edges just a little lick of paint just to avoid any rusting in future. The paint that I've gone for is just white hammerite. I could have used some red oxide, but my red oxide actually ran out when I was doing the floor. So I decided to go for the white hammerite paint just because it means where I'm doing it on an area that could potentially be exposed, If it does drip down, it means that it's not the end of the world, whereas the red oxide, that's a nightmare. I'm gonna do all of the sills on this side and the opposite side. I'm not a big fan of painting. It's just kind of a faff, a lot of faff. Just need to be careful not to put too much on, just like that. Because obviously I want to avoid it being shown. Just need to be gentle with it. There we go, that's looking quite good actually. Need to get rid of some of this excess. Okay, so I do have to be careful with the colour, as this white is very white and this is like, I think it's like an eggshell or something is what they call it. I don't want this to drip too far down, so I'm just going to clean the excess off. Like I said, just going to be really careful and almost just dab it in slightly. I think the best way to do it is almost like I'm painting the top and less of the side. Because if I paint the side, it seems to put too much on the metalwork. I have now got myself the glass ready for the windows to go in. So the plan is get the windows in. I've already put stuff on the windows, so it means that this is all protected. The only thing I need to do now is actually just heat up some water and pop the sealant in a bowl and yeah, see how it goes from there. A little bit scary. I don't like working with glass, so we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I haven't done that window yet, but this one I've put the kind of protector around. So what I need to now do is just cut it where it's overlapping, then wash everything, primer it, and then stick it on. Very, very scary. I don't like doing this kind of glass work, but I've got to do it to learn. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I've just cut that down and I've made sure to put it at the bottom. So if there are any leaks, it's not going to be leaking in through the top. It should be that even if there is a leak, you wouldn't tell because it's on the bottom. That's the first window in. I'm actually really happy with it. As you can see, it's got a good placement, and where it was kind of like a triangle before, it now is a thick bead on the inside. So time to do the exact same, but on the opposite side. So that is also this side done. This side was a little bit more difficult just because it was a slightly narrower gap, but it's pretty good. So sorry I didn't document as much. It's quite a stressful and difficult process because it was my first time doing it, but I'm gonna water test them at another time. Obviously in the barn, I don't wanna get water everywhere. So I'm gonna water test them when they get home, and fingers crossed it should be okay. I did use a light just to test. So light on the inside, and I could see from the outside if it was shining through, and it seemed fine. But yeah, we'll double check with some water when we get home. You can see the alignment that I've done here. It's pretty good. However, it is slightly off. The gap at the bottom is just a bit narrower than the gap at the top. But when you step back, you can't see it at all. So I'm really happy with it. It went well. Another scary job complete. I have just cut the hole for the side sliding window. I'm happy with how it's gone, but I haven't actually got any of the bonding stuff, so that's going to be stuck on another day. Anyway, the next thing to do is I need to do the sound deadening for all of the panels in the van, just so that's ready for me to put the battening up and crack on from there. Here I'm doing the exact same process as I did with the floor, just with some larger sheets. Just trying to cover about 50% worth of the panel, so it means it's as effective as possible. But yeah, I've got the walls to do on both sides, as well as the ceiling at some point. So I'll see how much I can get done today, and then hopefully the stuff at the window will arrive and I can get that done at some point. So for today, that is all of it. I've got the walls done, the doors done, this wall done, as well as the door done as well. So the only thing left is the ceiling, and I've cut out all of the pieces ready. I just need to stick them up when I come back later. What I now need to do is just cover the whole ceiling all the way around. The only areas that won't be covered are the front here. There's going to be a skylight above the lifting bed, and then towards the back over here there's going to be a roof vent as well. I've got a max air fan that's going to be going in there, so once it's out of the barn I can do that, because I'm a little bit worried that it might not fit through the doors. So yeah, I need to cover everything else but leave those two spots. That is all the sound deadening done. Every wall, the roof, the doors, everything has got sound deadening. So the next thing to do is to prep this window ready so I can stick the window in. I've started just by lining the cutout. The glass doesn't press up and squeeze it all out. Instead, it means that, well, one, you don't have that sharp edge to work with, but two, it stops all of it squeezing out so it can get a good bond onto the metalwork. Now I just need to wipe down and prime these surfaces, and then I'll be ready to put the adhesive on and stick it in. So yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. So first, I'm just going to use this alcohol wipe on the areas that are going to be in contact with the metal and have adhesive on them. And I'm going to do this for the window, but also for where it's going to stick onto the metalwork. So that's the primer around the window. You can see it dripped a little bit down here. What I should have done is started up here. So if it did drip, it just dripped onto this. But obviously I started around about here and you can see it's just dripped a little bit. So this should be covered anyway, but if not, I'm pretty sure this comes out quite easily with an alcohol wipe once it's dried. Top tip, with the sealant, make sure you keep it in some hot water before you actually use it, because otherwise it's really hard to apply and you'll find that you'll have issues. So hot water, half and half, so it's not too hot, does perfectly. Okay, that is it now on. So as you can see, it didn't go perfect in places, but I've just made sure that it's got a little bit extra, so it is definitely going to be watertight. So that's all good. There's no holes, no gaps. The idea is to try and do it as one continuous bead for as long as possible. So I think here I did use 3 beads because it was just difficult. What I did do is wear gloves. If you get this on your hands, it'll stay for at least a week. So yeah, wear gloves, and then it just means that if you do have to do anything, then you've got a glove on and it's easier. So time to get this window stuck in, and I need to try and make sure it's level to where that ridge is. There we go, so that is the window in. You can see at the bottom here, there is some of that primer. You can see at the top, there is a little bit of the adhesive that's sticking out, but you can't really see it. And what I'll probably try and do is just pop a little bit of spray paint in here at a later date. If I put a tape over this, I can spray paint it and you won't even see it. I don't want to do much to it. I've kind of smoothened it off, but if I do much more, it could potentially create a point for a leak to come out. So I'm gonna leave it as is and maybe paint it later on. But from eye level, you can't even see it. With that window done, I think that's going to be all for today's episode. So thank you very much for watching. I've just hit 1,000 subscribers. It's a massive, I can't believe I've actually done it, to be honest. So that's really cool. So thank you very much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you are subscribed, then thank you very much. Leave it a like, leave it a comment, anything. I really appreciate it all. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. I'm going to do all sorts of bits in the next one. So keep posted.